A security guard earning $50,000 a year suddenly realized his two daughters had the potential to become world champions. So even before they were born, he wrote out a professional plan for them. When the girls turned 5, he took them to the tennis court. Using gear he had collected and combining it with tennis knowledge he picked up on the job, he began training his daughters himself. But even after going to every major club in the state, no one was willing to take on black players. Finally, a coach showed interest, but Richard demanded the club provide the best equipment and cover all training costs for free. The coach said no one would ever agree to those terms. Tennis is an expensive sport. Even millionaires struggle to develop professional players, let alone a poor security guard from a black neighborhood. Sometime later, the two sisters entered a junior tennis championship. It was their first official match, but Richard didn't put too much pressure on the girls. The tension of the match caused her to lose 2 points in a row. At that moment, her father encouraged her from the sidelines.
You just had some fun out there, Venus Williams. That's all this about. Have some fun.
Once she reset her mentality, she caught her opponent off guard. The girl ended up winning the championship. After that, Richard looked for a new coach for his daughters. He had his eye on Rick Matchie, a highly respected coach in Florida. A few days later, they arrived at Matchie's tennis facility. Matchie set up a private court for the sisters and laid out a perfect career path for them. However, this path was the same as the one previous coaches had designed, growing up through the junior tournament circuit, just like current star Jennifer, who had succeeded through that very system. But before Matchie could finish sharing his grand vision, Richard cut him off. They wouldn't take part in any junior tournaments. The contract clearly stated they wouldn't compete again until turning pro. When the match began, the girls dominated their opponents. But then the coach suddenly called a timeout, using his usual delay tactics. With no sportsmanship, the opponent stayed in the restroom for 15 minutes. Little by little, the girl's energy and focus faded. When the match resumed, her performance dropped. She kept making errors. First easy shots went out, then serves failed, until she could barely even return the ball. It was clear these cheap tactics worked well against her. Amid ongoing cheers from the crowd, the girl completely lost her rhythm. Facing this last serve opportunity, could she seize the moment and pull off a miracle? In the end, she still lost, but the whole crowd applauded for her anyway. As she walked off the court, countless well-wishers had gathered outside. Maybe in their eyes, she was the real champion. And the younger sister eventually surpassed expectations, winning 23 Grand Slam titles later on. The feeling of being supported by so many people gave the sisters limitless energy. It inspired them to chase their dreams and strive for greatness. These are the two shining stars of the tennis world.